indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Tri-Creek School Corporation of students, staff, and community endeavors to be a recognized leader for high achievement and exceptional growth. Innovative and equitable approaches build upon strong community pride to provide all students with well-rounded educational experiences to prepare for future successes. Engaged to learn, equipped to achieve, and empowered to succeed, we are Tri-Creek proud.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Alrighty, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
We do want to add to the agenda a communications tower approval for the high school capital improvement projects.
Alright, where do we want to
It could be under business operations, get added as number 1A.
That's that tower. Do I have a motion to add temporary communications tower to the high school?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Motion and second to add the tower to the agenda under business consent items or business operations 1A. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. All right. Anything else? Public comment for agenda related items? Nobody? Alrighty. And a capital projects update.
Yes, we have Skillman, Mr. Scott Cherry here to give us an update on our capital improvement project.
Can you hear me okay?
If it were connected.
It doesn't work, sorry. I'll give you a quick update. Exciting times. We started construction. As you can see, I think about a month ago we started here, some of the demolition. And we'll be renovating. The idea here is to change the administrative area in the classroom. So that's just getting started. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of submittals and materials being procured. So a lot of activity around that. At the high school, you can see, again, we started to mobilize. You'll see a lot of orange flags all over the place. That means we're laying out. You'll see some trees and sheds and things like that being removed, demoed, some of the fencing. The barn, the red barn over there, is one of the first things that's going to be getting torn down here in the near future. So we'll be starting at the east side of the site and working our way around counterclockwise. And when school gets out in the summer, we'll be hitting some of the parking lots and things like that. But for right now, it's really focused on mobilization, making sure that we order the materials that we need, particularly the turf and bleachers and those kinds of things, structures for the infrastructure and drainage. So all that's going on, probably more to report as we get along here. But right now, we're glad to say we're mobilizing, things are going well. We're also getting ready to work on another package here, bidding some of the finishes and things at the elementary schools, but that's probably coming in March for that. Glad to answer any other questions you may have.
Just glad to see things rolling.
Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Scott. Alrighty, the Tri-Creek Education Foundation Grant Award recipients.
Yes, so approaching the podium are 3 members from the Tri-Creek Education Foundation Board. And if you could all introduce yourself before you do your little speaking spiel, that would be great.
Okay, I'm Lynn Haverland, and I'm on the board of the Tri-Creek Education Foundation Charity Grant Committee. And with me is Janice Bruce, Lynn Billhart. Lynn is our treasurer. Janice is also on the board of directors, and Superintendent Anderson is on our board as well, and we always appreciate his support. One of the highlights of our work during the year is sharing funds with creative, dedicated Tri-Creek staff members through our competitive grants program. This year we received 15 applications for our grants, and we're happy to be able to fund 11 of those innovative proposals. Tri-Creek staff members always impress us with their innovative and creative ideas to help students and engage their learning. Our organization does run on community support. That support and then our Labor Day 5K race enabled us to fund over $14,000 for those programs this year, engaging students at all levels from kindergarten through 12th grade. I'd like to introduce our grant recipients tonight, and we can congratulate them, and then those who are here, we'd like for them to come up and just give us a brief summary of their project. So we'll begin with Daryl Hebel, Lowell High School. I don't believe Daryl is here tonight. His grant is worth $1,350. It's for Skills USA Indiana State Leadership and Skills Conference. He'll be working with Ray Goss and Ken Roach, also from the high school. And they'll be taking some students to do some state level competitions. Randy Bogothy is here from Lowell High School, $2,239 for Student DUI Safety Initiative. He'll be working with Stacy Hughes on that project. Randy, would you like to share a little bit, please?
Absolutely. Do I need to formally go up, or can I just give it?
You know what, you'll be, for our streaming folks.
Let's, let me go ahead and do that then. The program is, thank you. I haven't had a chance to thank you personally for that. I think it's something that is absolutely gonna increase the safety of our student drivers. What we're gonna be doing is we have a system which are referred to as drunk goggles that I've used in the past for instructing the students on how to administer field sobriety tests if they're planning on going into law enforcement. When we were doing this, I spoke to Stacy Heems about it. What we're gonna do is have a assembly and an activity for student drivers that are looking to get their parking permits or purchase prom tickets. Gives them the opportunity to see that operating a vehicle under the influence is not safe, but we can do this under safe, controlled circumstances, so they learn that lesson rather than behind the wheel of a vehicle. We want everybody to be safe. We don't want any tragedies, and it's just an excellent educational tool to do that, and fun, get that message across. So that's what we're planning on doing starting after the new year. Working on the program right now, and we'll be putting that in place. And with the support of the Education Foundation, we are able to get the equipment we need to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And next we have Deborah Hinchey from Lowell High School, $3,700 for a Lowell High School coffee shop, and I believe she'll be working with Principal Patrick on that. Deborah.
We're very excited to get such a large grant award for the coffee shop. The students are very thrilled. It's going to be a student-led and student-run drink cafe. It's starting out in the second semester after we get back from the Christmas break, the holiday break, and it's starting out as a morning cafe because of just getting it launched, getting our feet on the ground, and then next year it'll be expanded. So it'll be serving cold and warm coffee beverages, cocoa, lemonade drinks, as well as a version of smoothies. It all has to meet the mandated nutritional guidelines for both the federal government and the state government. The students are using their engineering skills to do the floor layout, as well as collaborating with marketing, the digital graphics group, and the IT group to set up the marketing for both Instagram and putting QR codes to do the promotions. So it's really turning into a multi-class, different department collaboration. So we're really excited, and then next year we'll be expanding it with Work B students getting involved, and these are dual credit students that are working on it, and it's really going to be a school-based, like small business. It's very exciting, very exciting. So thank you very much.
And Deborah is the recipient of our largest grant this year. So
That's awesome.
When can we stop by for our first beverage?
In January.
Awesome.
Oh, you'll be hearing about it. We're going to be pushing info out there. You'll be hearing about it. We're going to be having specials and promotions. The students are starting to put all that information together.
We have to do a ribbon cutting ceremony.
You'll be hearing, and they're going to have taste tests and all sorts of things, so.
We have Eric Stoll from the Lowell Middle School receiving a grant for $750. He's doing LMS News. The students are going to research and ferret out stories and then produce them through video. They're getting some donations from the high school, and they'll be starting that very soon. So congratulations to Eric. And also from the middle school, Jeremy Schuler is going to receive $1,184. He is going to do an arcade cabinet build for student programming, where students will be, I don't really understand how this works, but they'll be programming an arcade cabinet to house student-created games, computer games, video games, I suppose, and then they'll be able to use that as an incentive for good work and further research. Melissa Campbell is here, and she's from Oak Hill. She received a grant for $1,600 for the Oak Hill Garden Club. She'll be working with Julie Alicia and Rashid Karja.
I'm sorry, you should talk to first graders. This is harder for me. Well, thank you again for the grant, and thank you to Jason, because he removed all the bushes outside of the library at Oak Hill. A couple years ago, Brandon Buha and I were talking about giving students a different opportunity outside of SPO Bowl, Math Bowl, robotics. Some students just like to be quiet and creative. I garden at home, it's just one of my passions I've always had, so I decided, why not get this going? So our club is going to teach kids about pollinators, certain gardens, types of flowers that will encourage pollination with bees and with caterpillars. So we're going to start small with butterflies. Sorry, I get nervous. And then we're going to expand into raised garden beds with vegetables. So the students will really be driving the design of the garden, what plants they want to have in the garden, and they're also being asked to maintain the area throughout the summer as well, and then we'll celebrate that success in August. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa, and congratulations. Michelle Hubbard, is she here? She's not here. Oh, she was coming. Michelle's from Three Creeks. She has a $420 grant for Cue Ball, Engaging Student Voices. It's a throwable microphone, which would kind of have some fun for student presentations, I think. Lake Prairie then has 2 second grade grants this year. Mia Koros and her team of Nicole Waddell and Alyssa Jankowski are receiving a grant for $600 for bringing books to life. They had that grant last year. We don't typically fund things 2 years in a row, but they really thought very highly of it, thought it was a great thing for their students. We had a little money left over, so we decided to fund that. And that second grade team also is receiving a grant of $1,209 for digging into the science of reading with decodable readers. So they're really beefing up their literacy program there in the second grade. And our final grant then, our final competitive grant, is Carrie Kopstick and her team of 5th grade teachers, Dawn Johansson, Jen Rose, $974, building a team beyond classroom boundaries. And they have done a challenge course at a facility in Valparaiso. They again are repeat grant winners, and they thought it was a really outstanding study trip for the kids. And each year we like to remind you that we have had in the last, about 10 years ago I guess, a generous request from the Ruth and Joe Weinberg estate. We have been able to use the dividend disbursements from that bequest to fund several other projects that we fund yearly. This is our 10th year funding these projects. 5th grade Challenger trips, we give $300 to each 5th grade classroom for their Challenger study trip. That's $2,700 this year. Lowell High School Mentor Program, $5,000. Lowell Middle School Mentor Program, $2,000. Lowell Middle School 8th grade trip for $5,000. Robotics teams, $750 per elementary and middle school. That's $3,000 total this year. The Lowell High School EV go-kart team for $750. STEM enrichment, camp convention, and in the summer we donate $750 for student scholarships. And then we also fund up to $10,000 for Lowell High School dual credit certification exams and AP exam scholarships. So our grand total contributing to Tri Creek this year is $43,312. So we're glad to share that with Tri-Creek staff and students. We are happy to help all of you make learning more engaging and meaningful. So thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'd just like to highlight the town of Lowell recently held their hearing for easement acquisition regarding the sewer project that we partnered with the town to run city sewer out to Lake Prairie Elementary. This was a joint project. We had a failing mound system at Lake Prairie. We were told we need to replace, and we'd like to get out of the septic business, and there's ongoing costs associated with that as well. So we did seize the opportunity to partner with the town. We put up $1 million, which was cheaper than us buying a whole new mound system and maintaining it in the future. The town put up $1 million for the project. The county used $1 million for with grant money, and there were $2 million worth of federal grant money, so a total of $5 million. The hearing took place last week. The intent when the town of Lowell sold the water system, Indian American Water, who purchased that, agreed contractually to run the water line at the same time that the sewer line was being run. Indian American Water is dragging their feet a little bit on the project. They want to delay the timeline. We cannot delay the timeline for the sewer because the $3 million in grant money affording the benefit of our taxpayers here needs to be expanded basically a month or a year from now. So we're hoping that Indian American Water will get on board, run their water line at the same time so that our community only has to experience the ground being dug up one time. And so I'll continue to keep you posted on that.
Appreciate it.
And that's what I have for my update.
All right, thank you. Board member report? Alrighty. Regular business consent items. Number one, approve the minutes of the meeting held on Thursday, October 26, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Number two, approve the payroll and claims.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll claim.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Personnel, approve the personnel report dated Thursday, November 9th, 2023. Smallest personnel report I've seen in a while.
Easy to read.
Yeah. Like,
I'll approve the, or I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Business operations. Number one, accept the bids for the Lowell High School renovations and new sports complex.
We have Mr. Cherry still around to give us an update on how the bids turn out.
Thank you. As you know, on November 1st, we received bids for what we call bid package number 2 at the high school, which was the balance of the work. It included all the work at the North Star building and some of the interior renovations. It's the second package. We had 31 bid categories. We had 11 bid categories that received 31 bids, which is pretty good for this time. We try to average 2 or 3 per bid category, and we had a lot of competition and good contractors. So we had pre-award conferences with all of the low bidders, make sure they have everything covered. So we're asking that you approve our recommendation to award contracts to those. I'd be happy to read each one of them. You should have a list of the contractors and the bid tabs and all that information. We're looking for award the base bid plus alternate number 1, which is electrolytic glass, which is glass that changes with sunlight. And then alternate number 2, which was a masonry by a certain type. That alternate was 0 as a manufacturer, and we're going to get the manufacturer we wanted for that. So bids came in on budget. The grand total was $22,183,360. And again, if you'd like me to read each contractor, they're not glad.
Did we?
Okay.
Yeah, if you want.
So for bid category number 3, which is the general trades, we had Garriott Construction. The amount of their contract, $8,786,500. Bid category number 4, which is masonry, Goff Incorporated, $3,500,000. Bid category number 5, the roofing and composites, which is Corellis Roofing, $1,448,854. The bid category 6, aluminum entrances and glazing, Trout Glass and Mirror, $732,425. Bid category 7, metal studs and drywall, Goff Incorporated, $1,596,000. Bid category number 8, painting, Stands Painting, for $256,601. Flooring was bid category number 9, Master Tile, $469,000. Bid category 10, Casework, Lead Company, $85,980. Bid category 11, Plumbing, Reichelt Plumbing, $744,000. Bid category number 12, which is the HVAC and fire suppression, Gatlin Plumbing and Heating, $2,815,000. And the last one, bid category 13, Electrical and Technology, MCOR Higher Electric, $1,749,000. The grand total, $22,183,360. Ask for your approval to award contracts.
Motion to approve the contract.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Alrighty, item 1A, the temporary tower for communications, at the high school.
Yeah, so we're looking for a recommendation to approve the communication equipment proposal that was in your board materials earlier this week. In more detail, it's from Chicago Communications. We have a communications tower currently sitting in the middle of the high school athletic complex. We need to temporarily move that out of the way. The reason is we have to cut power to the athletic complex in order for construction to occur. That's number one. Number two, that tower is in the way of construction. We don't have the ability to go directly from current location to the new long-term location, simply back to the power issue. We have vetted this proposal, and the temporary tower would be located next to the construction management trailer, and we would store the current tower with the intent to then reinstall as a cost savings. So we're looking for your approval of the Chicago Communications communication equipment proposal for approval. Why is this such a big deal? It runs all of the bus communications throughout the district, which happens to be 179 square miles, the southern third of Lake County, Indiana. And we can't have them built. We can't have them built.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the temporary communication.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Number 2, approve the support staff wage increase.
Yeah, so you have in your materials the recommended wage increase for all of our support staff. It's approximately 5%, which is in line approximately with the new monies that were available in our teacher contract. And so, being mindful of our entire team, we're looking for approval of the wage increase for our Tri-Creek support staff.
I will make a motion to approve the support staff wage increase.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Number 3, approve the administration contracts.
Yeah, so we are looking for approval for the recommended administrative contracts. Again, it is in line with all of the other employees in the district, both the teachers and the support staff, regarding the percentage of increase in new money. An item to note is that as we only settled a 1-year contract with our teachers this year due to some unknown financial circumstances in the upcoming year, we really have to do a thorough program assessment. We really need to look at all of our job roles throughout the district as we look at our future budget. And so for those reasons, we're looking for flexibility, and if we need to make changes at the administrative level, we need to have the flexibility to do so. So that, for that reason, we're recommending for our building level administrators to be on a 1-year contract. It's not to say that anybody's losing their job. People have to be notified by March 1st if there's a non-renewal. Again, the intent and purpose of this is to provide flexibility on the salary amount and the number of days worked. And so we're seeking your approval for the administrative contracts, which again, the percentage increase is in line with all of the other employees in Tri-Creek, and we're looking for 1 year.
Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. All right, consent items. Accept a donation from the Minnetonka Golf Course, Grant Park, Illinois, in the amount of $500 to help fund the Lowell High School football RDP alumni ECA for clinic fees.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye.
I was wondering what the RDP alumni PCA.
All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Student services, approved the voluntary extended out-of-country EF tourist trip to Costa Rica / Panama for the Lowell High School students in the environmental club during the summer of 2025.
Yeah, so I was approached by the high school. Hey, we already have a trip going to Greece in 2025. Can we consider having another trip take place? We're assuming no, and my take as a superintendent, like, if you've got the students who are interested, you've got a number of kids going to Greece, if you've got another set of students who want to go somewhere else, parents are supportive of that, then why not? Why do we care? These trips, as you know, traveling is educational in and of itself. And so you were provided with a simple itinerary. This is during the summer. We do have Shauna Schoon, Mr. Schoon here, and 2 high school students. So if you would enlighten us, give us a good overview of what the proposal is and the purpose and rationale for the proposal, and then be available for any questions the board might have.
So I'm Shauna Schoon. I'm one of the co-sponsors for the Environmental Club. When I became one of the sponsors, I was delighted and surprised to see the student interest and like fervor for the environment, for our community, and the passion for raising awareness in the school. We were thinking about doing something that would really engage students, and not just students in the environmental club, but getting other students excited about the environment and caring, because as we all know, it's a really big issue and it's not going away anytime soon. And we found these really awesome trips through EF Tours, which is the same company that does the European tourist Greece into Spain. And we found a trip to Belize, but then we found a trip to Costa Rica. So this trip to Costa Rica and Panama is fantastic. We really want to expose these students to the biodiversity that they'll ever see around here. We're going to refuges and parks where there are organisms that are very rare. Costa Rica has 6% of the world's biodiversity and only like 0.03% of the land mass in the world, which is fantastic. As a teacher, I love getting students excited, and I think that this trip is really going to get students excited about, the world and being able to be involved in all of the beautiful things that the world has to offer. And I have 2 students here. We have Carson, who's the president of the Environmental Club, and Jack, who's one of our members, and I think they want to say a couple words to this as well.
Hi, I'm Carson Brown. I'm the president of the Environmental Club. Environmental studies are super important, and with trips to Europe, such as the Greece trip, the trip to Spain, they're learning about the culture and the region and the history of that location. But if we take a trip to Central America, we won't just be learning about the culture there, we'll also be learning about the biodiversity. And that's so cool, being able to see the waterfalls compared to looking at them in a textbook, being able to walk through the rainforest compared to just seeing pictures of trees in a book. Having a tour guide point out a stick that's moving, because it's not just a stick, it's actually a bug if you look closer. Being able to see that, feel that, it brings a whole new awareness to not just the United States, but the world. And seeing organisms interacting with their environment, seeing them camouflage and how they behave compared to reading about them, is something that's just life-changing for a lot of students. And I think this is a great opportunity for freshmen and sophomores currently and future students, and should not be overlooked. It's very, very cool.
Hello, I am a sophomore, so this is a really great opportunity for me. I actually get to go to this, and I'm very excited for that. The Costa Rica trip, as opposed to the Spain and Greece trips, it's a lot more tropical in nature, as opposed to the others where they're much more urban. I would think that if we have it like this, it's just a more direct learning experience for the people going, as opposed to the Europe trips, as you go to cities, but there's plenty of cities around the world, but there's few rainforests still standing as well as the ones in Costa Rica are. I, as a person, have always been interested in the environment and animals and all those types of things, and this really affords me a very, very unique opportunity to go to something like this, because it's rare that I get an opportunity as someone living in Northwest Indiana that I get to see things like macaques or caiman, very rare animals that are really found very much around the world. But I now have that opportunity afforded to me by this trip, and I'm very excited and would be very pleased if you guys would accept this motion. Thank you.
So if memory serves me right, it's a 11-day trip with a possible extension, 9 or 11 with an extension of 3 more days to Panama and the Panama Canal. Is that?
Yeah, so it's originally a 9-day trip, but speaking with Chris, he always says do all the things that they offer in the trip. So we're trying to do the 12-day trip, which adds the extension to the Panama Canal and seeing some of the areas around in Panama as well. So that's our.
If the extended trip, it's approximately $4,000 and some change.
$4,709, I believe.
I'm assuming that we would run it the same way as we fund the Greece trips, where it's monthly installments by the parent, not necessarily any fundraising. What other questions might you all have?
Well, I first just want to say, just because we're in a small town doesn't mean that we can't create global learners, and this is such a great example of that. And global learning isn't about traveling the world always, it's about what you gain from those experiences. And just the fact that you two guys came here, presented to us, spoke to us in such an educated and clear way about what you're looking forward to in this trip, that expands your abilities and capabilities going forward in life. So I'm so excited for these opportunities that you are giving the students in doing this. So thank you for that. And thank you guys for coming and speaking. And my question is how do like yourself and chaperones fund this? How was that funded? Does it come through a portion of the student fees, or expected to do it on your own?
So EF Tours has different rates for teachers. So the sponsors, so myself and Nicole, who's the other co-sponsor for the Environmental Club, we will go with just like very few fees because there's a lot of work that goes into this. And I think staff gets a discounted rate as well, but if parents want to come, like they have to pay an increased amount. I'm not totally sure how the breakdown is, but it's the same company that does the Greece trip and that did the trip to Germany and the trip to Spain. So it works in a very similar way.
Yeah, I love your guys' passion for all this. I mean, I'm a big advocate for, you travel as much as you can when you're young. That's as much education as sitting in the classroom. Just travel around the world, see different cultures, see different environments that you don't ever get to see. So, really glad to see that.
Students, they blow me away. Like I said,
Oh,
when I
yeah,
became one of
absolutely.
the co-sponsors, I'm just like, as an educator, it really gives me like some hope. You know, I talk to Nicole, the other co-sponsor, about this all the time. Like, the kids we have here are awesome.
Yeah, it's great that they can experience something like that at such a young age.
I'm always blown away when you guys come to speak to. You guys speak way better than I can now, so. Alrighty,
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the EF tour trip to Costa Rica.
I have a second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Alrighty, public comment for non-related agenda items. I don't have any. Oh, there you are.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And I will fill out a form after I speak. I didn't. So, my name is Marty Tuttle. I am a resident of Lowell of almost 10 years. I am delighted with the EF tours that I've heard at this meeting, as well as the present meeting, or the previous meeting. My question revolves around, are there scholarship / financial aid opportunities for students who want to go on these tours who do not have the financial resources? And if that answer is not easily available, whoever is the designated person for that information can get in contact with me.
We'll definitely find out and definitely look into that.
Okay,
Thank you.
My office will get back in touch with you.
great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Alrighty, the next meeting will be held on Thursday, November 30th. Alrighty, anything else from anybody? Meeting adjourned. Thank you guys for coming.